few weeks ago, my good friend Andy over at Pieces of 8-Bit put a video out, basically reviewing his 2024 bit early, but I can see the reasoning why, so this is what we're going to be doing today. And he picked 5 subjects and 5 items in each subject and gave himself a minute to talk about each one, or 5 minutes about a subject. I put a video out, and during that video he tagged myself and Retro Red Steve and somebody else whose name escapes me at the moment, for which I apologise. But if I'd done my research, it'd be a proper channel, this, wouldn't it? So he challenged us to do exactly the same thing, and we said, yeah, great idea. And then obviously with Christmas coming and whatever and with everything else going on, we sort of forgot about it. But I noticed Steve put his video out last week, and I'll stick a link into Andy's original video and Steve's. And it reminded me, I thought, oh yeah, I was meant to be doing that. So here it is. It's my big thing called my big gaming 24 or something like that. And that's what it is. So the 5 sections I'm going to talk about. Oh, this is the retro bear, by the way. The 5 sections I'm going to talk about. So the top 5 pickups, top 5 events. I've written them down, so I'm not going to do. Top 5 revisited games. Top 5 new games, even bigger face, and top 5 things I've learned. So, yeah. Now, I've got to clarify to regular people now, I've not had a particularly fun year, and a lot of these things I'm really going to struggle to fill in, so you'll have to bear with me as to how I sort of project those. But I've got my clock here, this will be good, I'm on the clock. I'm actually going to do a video to time, which is scary, isn't it? And I've gone through stuff, so for some bits I can do, some bits I'm going to be, I don't know, probably fishing around and flying off the top of my head, because I think if I wrote them all down, I'd think, oh, I thought of something else, and so if I just do it on the fly, I'll forget everything, but at least I'll be honest, I suppose, anyway. So finally, Andy, here we go, this is it, and I will be tagging 3 people at the end as he did in his video, and Steve's done his. So if you are tagged, please do get involved, and if you've never seen Andy's channel before, please go across and have a look. He's a lovely guy. Mrs. Bear repaired an Amiga of his a few weeks ago, met him earlier on in the year as well, just after I found his channel, funnily enough. So he's a really great guy. Please go along and give him some support. And if you do get tagged in doing this, tag somebody else in, and you know, hopefully some people do. I mean, there's some people are doing their own reviews of 2024. I'm not really going to. This is my review of 24. I'm not going to do a proper video as such. I never usually do, actually. I don't think anyway. But yes, so we are on the clock. So we press start for the first section, which is called top pickups. I can't remember what order I got them in, so I'm just going to pull them off the floor as I've got here. Again, because I've picked up so much stuff throughout the year, it's so difficult to remember what I've picked up. And there's a big pile of stuff down there which I've got. I've just been through some of that, and there's some other things I thought about. Oh, I got that as well. But yeah, I don't sort of keep a tab, and I can never remember what I picked up this year, last year, 10 years ago. So whatever. So the first one I picked up, and purely because it was so nice to find it out in the wild in such a lovely condition, is this arcade. In fact, no, I think this might have actually come from Jason. Might come from retrogames.co.uk. But the reason this is quite a top pickup is because, again, the box is beautiful. I mean, this sort of case I mentioned in the pickups video at the time. Very, very difficult to find these cases as good and a condition as this. The inlay's there, all the tapes are there. I mean, yeah, it is a Spectrum game. I mean, I should be wrong with this. And I've already got it on the Amstrad, and when I was younger I played on my friend's Commodore 64 version. But just to give you a quick rundown, the original Street Fighter, Sidearms, 1943, Bionic Commando and Road Blaster, so a real mix of stuff on there, and a real mix of quality as well, has to be said. But I just, absolutely love the box. The box is fantastic, it's in really good condition, and happy to have that one. That's 1 minute 15 seconds already. You weren't wrong, Andy, it flies by, doesn't it? Right, next one I picked up, Arnold Palmer's Tournament Golf. Yes, obviously, really are scraping the bottom of the barrel, these. But the story went, I bought up one copy of this because a conversation between myself, James Retro Import Gamer, and Paul at Black Country T-shirts. Paul was wearing a homemade T-shirt with this game cover on the front. I said, how weird is that? Silly game on the front of your T-shirt. But they both then chimed in and said what a fantastic golf game this was. I picked up a copy from Hidden Chest Gaming, without the manual, the hang tab. When I was on holiday in August, end of August in Somerset, I walked into independent game shop. I should have written this down. And found a much better copy for £2, and this is complete. If anybody didn't see that one at the time, I know it's a golf game. The manual's a well-worn one, but everything about this is complete. The box is magnificent. The hang tab is a beautiful stiff one. Lovely, and they're meant to be a very good golf game. So yeah, so tale of two Arnold Palmers this year. Pickup number 3. I got this, and I've lost pickup number 5. I can't remember what it was now. Oh crap! I got this earlier on in the year at Vintage Gamer, and it's Fire Emblem Radiant Door. Why is this a significant pickup for me this year? Well, one, because it's an incredibly costly game. 2, I got it at a bargain price because I had some vouchers to go towards it, which is lovely. And 3, I've never actually seen a proper copy of it. I've only seen like one with a reprinted cover on it. So yeah, I now remember what my 5th subject was. So yeah, it's not a game I'm going to sit down and play. I've not played it. I've had it probably about 10 months now, nearly, maybe 11 months, 8 months. And it's been sat over there. And I mentioned it in previous video, so it's just been sitting there. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Next one. Item number 4 also came from Vintage Gamer. I think it was this year because I did a video on it. And it's the Retrocade. Which is a emulation console primarily focusing on Capcom stuff. So you've got games like Final Fight, Mega Man 2, Double Dragon, Burger Time, Joe and Mac, mixture of arcade conversions and NES home versions, and probably some SNES versions as well. There is an American version of this which is much better because then you can flash it and put all sorts of stuff on it. This is the European version. I think I got this year. I know I did a video on it. It might have been last year. I don't know. But it's got into this year's videos and stuff. But yeah, really smart little thing. I mean, there's nothing on there people haven't seen before. But, you know, Bionic Commando. Yes, what else we got? Final Fight. Gargoyles Quest. R-Type's on here as well, I think. Yeah. Is R-Type on here? Yeah, R-Type 3 is on here. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super R-Type, Super Side Pocket, stuff like that. If you can get one of those, it's worth getting hold of. And the very last things, I've got approximately 42 seconds left to talk about is what you can see there are the 2 WrestleMania signs. We'll run WrestleFest for the arcade machine, one WrestleMania for the arcade machine. Got those from my mate Fob. I love the old WrestleMania logo, which you can't see because it's slightly obscured by the Christmas tree, and me. And the WrestleFest one for the arcade games, I played that so much when I was a kid. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, just to get those 2 metal signs stick on there, absolutely fantastic, and just appeals to my case of nostalgia. So it's a gaming pickup as such. It's more to do with display and anything like that. 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Stop. Right. Okay, so we've done that one. 4 minutes 54 seconds. Oh mate, that's a challenge and a half. I challenge wordsmiths on this. People who talk a lot, like I do. Have a go at this. It's not easy. Right, let's reset the clock. Top 5 events I've been to this year. Well, that's going to be a tricky one because I can only think of 4. Yeah, okay, we'll do that then. Right, so we'll start the clock. Clock is started. Let's talk about Black Country Gaming Fair, which was in the early part of the year, February, March time, I think it was, which was held at the Archery Arena, or as you know, it's more commonly known now as the Kosovo Memorial Museum, because it's an absolute hole, that place. This was the first one done in the year by Dana and Ant down at Hidden Chest. Yeah, it was a great venue for what it was. It was cheap, it was cheerful. It wasn't very nice, but you know, you can't help it. I think this particular one, the final straw really was when the toilet roof disappeared. There was no toilet. There was no roof on the toilet. Which is a real shame because it was a nice little venue. But yeah, it was really good. Mrs. Bear was there, Retro Repair Bear, stalling out. It was a great pleasure to help her there, see some of our friends as well. And we had a pretty good day out, I think, from that one. So yeah, I very much enjoyed doing that one. It was something which you know, we like to do. It's a local event and very important for her to promote a business. Moving on to event 2, that was Revival at the Wolverhampton Racecourse in June, which is where I met Andy. I didn't mention at the start, but that's where I met him. And yeah, it was just fantastic to do that. I've never been to a Revival before. It was a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday. We on there on the Friday setting up, and just so many people came to see us. It was amazing. We had a fantastic first day. Claire sold a lot of stuff. we more than exceeded our expectations, and it was a real mix of old systems and arcades and traders and talks and people just getting together for a drink, playing some games, catching up, because it's the first revival for 4 years. So people were very, very interested in going to it, and for people who I've only met briefly or never even met before, there's some people I've known on YouTube for like 4 or 5 years who I'd never met until that summer, particularly people like Scott Sager Zombie and Pete on a Retro Tip. First time I met those people ever, and they've done so much for me in the past as well, so it's fantastic to do that. So that was June. Then we move on to the Black Country Gaming Fair again at the end of October, I think it was, which is a new venue at the Robin R&B in Warsaw. Much better venue apart from the lighting. The guys have got nothing to do, that's not their problem, that's just how the venue is. It's a nightclub, or it's an R&B rock club, that sort of thing. So it's going to be set up lighting wise for that. But yeah, generally, again, a very well attended event. We didn't see probably as many people as we thought we might do. Certainly, from our point of view, it wasn't the best one we did. But again, just to get the name out there, take some repairs and get some business from it, it's very important for Claire to do that. Great to see people like Sean stalling out for the first time, Retro Games Revived, and so many people turned up and spent time. Great to meet some people for the first time again there. Retro Mickey, my old friend from YouTube comments for many years, and finally got to meet him in person. Super Pants came in and we both recognised each other, but we weren't quite sure if it was who it was. But anyway, that was really good. And then probably the event of the year, which was in November, right at the start of November, which was of course the Turnberry Titans up in Scotland at the Turnberry Golf Course, organised by Gordon Gibb 84. What a wonderful guy he is. I've talked about that in great length already. I don't really want to go over that again. Because there's a whole video on it. If you want to go and watch that, you feel free to do so. But in terms of people coming together to raise money for charity in a place which was so far away from some of us, it was quite amazing to just pull people together to do something like that. It was a fantastic weekend. Those of us who went will never forget it, and so many people contribute on the live stream. We raised about £4,000 for charity. What more can you say? It was just a fantastic weekend. It really was. And one of my favourite things I think I've ever done. And it still will be. I think it's going to take a lot to beat that, especially when we get to my age. And then, really, so I've done 4 events this year. It's the only one event I can think of, which was the Birmingham Game Market, which I didn't go to. And the first time since the Birmingham Game Market has been on, I've not actually gone. And there was a reason for doing this, a simple reason for doing this. I just didn't feel as if I had a need to go there. Usually we go to be sociable, to go and see the traders, who we see quite a lot of anyway. I mean, I've seen most of the traders 3 times this year already. I've seen some traders this year more than I've seen members of my own family. It's rather worrying. But it's true. But there didn't seem to be a lot of people from the YouTube section going, and I didn't really need to go and buy anything, so that's why I didn't go. Will that change next year? I don't know. My thoughts and opinions on gaming markets as such, they sort of change. I might do a video on that at some point anyway. But there we go. So those are my top 5 events. We'll stop the clock there at 4 minutes 57 seconds. Oh dear me, it's not easy. This, I tell you, it's not easy. And this is the part of the video when it can get quite tricky now, because I've now got to go and talk about revisited games. So let's start the clock, shall we? Clock is started. I think I can take a bit more time over this one because I'm going to approach it slightly differently. Top 5 revisited games in full general. As you know, this year I've been playing War in 24. Go and see my video, Christmas message. I'll tell you all about how I think that's gone. And a lot of people have commented to the contrary, which is very good of you to do so. And I suppose revisited games, there's a lot of games in there that I haven't. When I do something like that, I'm not picking games that I used to play a lot of. I've revisited a few Madden. I think I did some sports games, didn't I? Madden games, but that's. I don't think that was a version I had anyway. I'm pretty sure it's a different one. But when you're going back to revisit games, I don't revisit games. I'm playing a lot of them for the very, very first time, which is really strange. I can't even talk about the games I played on the Mini Amiga, because I think that was last year. and that would have been an ideal thing to do. But even when I was doing Commodore Corner or doing the Play More in 24 videos, very few of them I was playing for the first revisiting. So I can't really fill this section in, which is a real shame, because I don't want to leave this sort of section of the video completely duff. Would I have liked to have revisited games? Well, I would have done. And I suppose really through Retro Red Steve's PS1 racing challenge, which I've got involved in a couple of times this year. Not all of them, because I don't always have the games, but I've just done, I'd say just done, it's out here at the moment. I'll show you what it is very, very quickly, without trying to knock everything over. Yeah, so we've just done V-Rally. Well, I've got 2 copies of V-Rally, I hear you cry. They're both not the best, both got cracks on them. Well, that's the original Black Label version, which didn't cost $32.99. And that's the Platinum version, which has got an extra car in it, I believe. Exclusive Platinum features, a new Toyota car, and a DualShock compatible. So if you've got that one, you can't play DualShock with it, but that one you can, I think, anyway. So I've just done that one for Retro Red Steve's channel, and I've enjoyed doing those. I've done 3, I think 3 this year. I hadn't got, but you always find the games you can't find, like Wipeout. I'd love to have done Wipeout, but I've not got a copy of Wipeout. But honestly, I was more surprised by the fact that a lot of people said, I haven't got Wipeout. We've all got the sequels to Wipeout. We've all got the Wipeout on a different system, but we haven't got the original Wipeout on PlayStation. Not one of my favourite games, but that's it. So, yes, I mean, I played a lot of V-Rally. I was more of a Total Driving guy back then. I was desperately trying to think of that game, Total Driving. I'm not sure. Not sure if I've got a copy of that, but I think I preferred that one over V-Rally. We played Tokka, which was great fun. I'm sure there's another one we played as well. But yeah, those are the games I've revisited this year, because I guess every game I buy has got to be classed as a revisited game. I've bought it, it's gone onto the shelf, it's gone in the box, it's gone somewhere else, and that's me. And then when I get it out of it, I'm sort of I've got that, revisited that. And also as well, I might have briefly mentioned, but no one sort of picked up on, because Mrs. Bear has redesigned the front room stroke workshop, or workshop stroke front room, particularly because we've had Christmas coming. Commodore Corner has had to be dismantled, so I've now got to talk about redoing things up here in order to be able to do that. So maybe we will revisit more games next year. I don't know. But I think every time I get a game out to play, which is very, very rarely, I'm sort of revisiting it, which is strange. So Andy, I'm really sorry. I can't do this section properly for you, my friend. I really can't. I can't even remember what games I played in 2020. Well, that's the other thing as well. If I knew what I played, I would say, oh yeah, I played that one, and that would be it. But if I start messing around with this, I'm going to, first of all, mess the timings up, and secondly, sort of throw things into disrepute and probably a steward's inquiry. Anyway, so I'm going to stop that there at 4 minutes 22 seconds ish, because I don't really know what more I can add to that subject. Now, I've just stopped the video there and done a quick look. I've still got my clock there at 4:24:60. Just had a quick look at my Play More in 24 list for this year. And I've just had a quick scan through the games. Alien 3 I played on the Master System, but I haven't played it on the Master System before, so although I played it, so technically speaking that's not right. I played Aladdin on the Mega Drive, so that's definitely one game I went back and played. Still good fun, that one. Desert Strike I didn't play on the Mega Drive, so that doesn't really count. FIFA 96 on the Mega Drive, yep, that's definitely one I went back and played. Space Invaders, Invasion Day, which I had played briefly, that's definitely one that can go back on that list. I played some light gun games. I think I can't remember if I played Jesse James Gunfight, which I think I played last year, and Colin McRae's Rally. So yes, there's quite a few games I did play last year for the return visit anyway. So yeah, that might have gone over the 5 minutes a little bit, but anyway. Right, let's start the clock again, because we come to the next section, which is top 5 new games. I don't know whether the new games that I've played or not, or whether this is just applies to new games in general. I mean, probably during the course of that weekend in Scotland, I played a lot of new games. For me, Gran Turismo 7, Street Fighter 5, that stupid fighting game we played with the unicorns and things that Mrs. Bear was so good at. The Turtles compilation. Those were new games that I played this year. But again, it's sort of like revisited games. I buy the game, put it on the shelf. It's still, technically speaking, a lot of the time, it's a new game coming off the shelf to me. And I noticed I go through the PlayStation light gun games, for example. Endgame was a new one for me. What else? I also revisited Time Crisis. Well, just no organisation. It's all over the place. What else did I pick up and play this year that I know I had to go at? New games to me. I think that was the idea behind playing more in 24. To play games that were new to me, and I just didn't quite get over the line, which is a real shame. And I've got a pile of stuff down there which are new games to me. A massive pile of stuff down there to go through. I'm surrounded by stuff which is all new games. I can just have a look. Let's have a look up here now. Predator 2, that's a new game to me. Alien 3, not a new game. It's on the Mega Drive, so that's new to me. World Cup USA 94. Okay, it's a bit weird, that one, but that's new. Time Lord on the NES, that's a new game to me. What have we got up there? Bart versus Space Mutants. I never played that game. That's sat up there. Pro Wrestling on the Master System. Never played that one either. And again, just looking around, everything here is sort of new to me. And I don't buy new games. I get given new games. I had, what did I have for birthday? Just gone. I had a new game. Dad got me a Switch game for that. I can't remember what it was now. And he's just got me a new one for Christmas, the new Zelda game. Something of Echoes in it, Breath of Echoes or something like that. I don't know which one it is. To go in my Zelda collection of games, which for somebody who's never played a Zelda game for more than an hour, I've got a lot of Zelda games. But everything is new to me. And so much stuff is so new to me because a lot of stuff I played was on disc back then, and not compact disc, blue 3.5-inch disc, which is so difficult to get working. That's why I wanted to get the Amiga 500 Mini, because I could play a lot of games that I grew up with, but that was my era. So anything on it, a lot of other systems is new because I've never had things like that, even daft things. So Time Lord on the NES, that'll be a new game to me when I finally play that. Zelda, the gold cartridge Zelda, that'll be a new game to me. Did I get that this year? I think I did. But everything sort of blurs into one. So I don't know. New games, it's tricky. It's tricky. I'm really sorry, I can't add any more to that. But it would be my intention to try and do it. So that weekend in Scotland was great for me experiencing new games. I played Gran Turismo before, but not that version. I'd played Turtles games before, but not that particular version. I played Street Fighter games before, but not that particular version. So are they new games to me? Yeah, I don't know. One or the other. Anyway, I'm going to stop that at 3 minutes 30, whatever it was, because I really haven't got anything else to add to that. I'll just be waffling on. And then so we come to the final subject. How long we done? I can't remember because I started the video again, haven't I? I can't remember. So we come to the final subject, which is things I have learned. 5 things I have learned this year. Yeah. I've learned a lot. Maybe none of it's relevant to this. Now, I think some of it is relevant. Start the clock. First thing I've learned this year is the first thing I've learned is that regardless of how much you enjoy doing this subject, how much you enjoy getting part of this, inevitably you will reach a saturation point. And you don't think it's true, but at some point you will reach a time where you think, do you know what, that's maybe enough for now. Maybe not for good, not one of these people who's going to chuck everything in and sell up and then come back in 6 months' time. But you just think, perhaps I've got enough now. I don't need any more. And you can see that with my pickups. I've picked up so little since the end of the summer. That's what it is. I've learnt that sometimes actually enough is enough. And I know I never play half of this stuff anyway, and I probably didn't even play it even 10% of it. But you sort of reach that. And, sort of fatigue sets in. So that's the first thing I've learnt this year. Sometimes you realise enough is enough. Second thing I've learnt this year is don't set yourself unrealistic goals. Don't try and force yourself into doing something. I think that's probably not helped me a lot this year by trying to be positive about playing more in 24. And then sort of feeling down and depressed about it because I didn't get as much done with it. It happens. As I said earlier, people have been very kind about it, and it has inspired some people to pick more games up, which is great. If I've inspired one person to do it, that's fantastic. Wish it had been me, but none the same. But if you're not in the right frame of mind to do it, you can't push yourself into it. So I've learnt this year not to do something like that, and I won't be doing that again. I was happy to get involved in stuff, but I just you just want to enjoy it, not force yourself into do something. So there we go. So point 2, don't push yourself into something unrealistic. Point 3, things I've learned. You can have an opinion. It's very possible to have an opinion. I said a few things in the summer. I don't regret what I said. I'm not going to draw on them because I think that moment has long passed now. We had a little spell of that and then it's gone away again. But I still stand by that, and I still think it's very true, and I don't think anything's changed on that. I like trying to keep myself fairly neutral, keep myself out of things, but there comes a point where you've got to say something and just go through it. And like I said, there are people who are involved in that who I know very well, met personally, and I think are absolutely fine people for doing what they're doing. But there are some people who do it, and they are quite literally taking the mick, and it's damaging. It's damaging in a way. So you can have an opinion on certain things. I try and keep me under my hat, so that's what it is. Point 4, one thing I have learnt this year is that sometimes you just need to step away and stop, and that's just not this. That is in life. I spent my entire summer working my way through because I felt I had to, and for what's happened as a result of that, I feel like it's been a complete waste of time, and I've caused myself a lot of undue stress and worry in the process, and running myself into a stupor. So you've just got to step away sometimes and do things. You have to look after yourself, number 1, which is my Christmas message. Go and have a look at that if you want to. I'm not going to get drawn on this, but I don't want to start bringing it down again. We're going to move on for that, but that's another thing which is very important. And I suppose really the thing I've learnt the most this year is that this, for apart from what I've just mentioned in the 3rd minute, this is a wonderful place to be. There are some wonderful people out there. There's some wonderful friends who will look out for you, who will be there with words of encouragement, who will be there to take the mick out of you to make you feel better. Sort of thing, that they are there. It's a wonderful cross section of people. We've met so many people. I include Claire in this because it's good for the pair of us. We've met so many wonderful people. We would not have been able to do that trip in Scotland for in any other circumstance. We would not have had people visit here and come here who'd like to come here and pop in, when they're passing or they're in the area. We would not be able to do that. We would not go to shows and do events without meeting all these wonderful people. So yes, I know it gets a lot of stick sometimes, and I know some people are in it for the wrong reasons, but there is a fantastic set of people sat right where you are, wherever you are, in your living room, on the sofa, on the bus. 5 minutes. There we go. 5 minutes gone. YouTube. It can be a wonderful place, and I've met some fantastic people through it. So things I've learnt this year is there are plenty of good, honest friends out there, which is fantastic. I hope that's answered some of the questions. We sort of went off about 50% of the way through that, but I've tried to be honest as I can, best I can with what Andy's asked me to do. It's a great idea. I do appreciate it. And now here comes the receipt. So as we all sitting there having a laugh about this and wondering, oh yeah, a bit of a story to get through that. Well, guess what? It's your turn now. Oh yes, you're not getting away lightly with that, are you? So I'm going to tag in. Again, 3 people who, again, for varying reasons, I could probably apply that last bit. First one I'm going to tag in is Gordon, Gib84, who organised that Scotland event and has been a marvellous person. And messaged me the other day, after my Christmas special went out, only person who did so. But it was nice of him to reach out. So Gordon, we'd love to hear what you've been up to and what you've enjoyed this year. I'd also like to tag in Generation Pixel. Yeah, he's always got something to say about things, hasn't he? And I think, between you and me, it'll be a challenge for him to do that in 5 minutes. Yes. Might take him till March to film it, but there we go. But yes, Stuart, I'd like you to do that as well, please. We'd love to hear what you've been up to as well. And I think as well, that last subject, somebody who, for me, is one of the absolute, I don't know, rocks of the community. Somebody who puts so much effort into helping other people. And I'm sure most of you will agree with this. I hope you do anyway, and that's Retro Ed. I met Ed this year, first time. I think it was at the Black Country Gaming Market, I think it was. Not first time, I met him the previous year, hadn't I? We had a good long chat with him this time rather than just going around, because he was with his lad at the time, and we had a little bit of a chat. We'd love to spend some more time talking to Ed, but I did a Desert Island thing with him a couple of years back. Again, you think sometimes he's not enough, but Ed does so much for so many people. He's the most generous man, I think, on YouTube, and I'd really like, and I know you've just done a review in 24, Ed, but I'd like to get your spin on this, if you'd be so kind to do so. So, yeah, just to recap, Gordon Gibb 84, Generation Pixel and Retro Ed, if you'd like to do your responses to this. And as I said to everybody at the start, if you'd like to go and cross and check Andy's channel out and the video, and also go and check Retro Ed Steve out, because he's also done exactly the same thing. Also, if you fancy getting involved in any of the PlayStation 1 racing challenges, I hope Steve's carrying those on this year, but next year, by the way, 2025. Hope it's not just a 2024 thing, Steve. I hope you're carrying those on, because they are really fun to do. Go across and have a look at that. We're doing V Rally at the moment on the PlayStation 1. If you have a copy of that, get involved. Put your times up on the thing and you know, see how well you do. No prizes, it's just a bit of fun. Anyway, yeah, so that's that then. And that's me for 2024, really. Yeah, so yeah, like I say, I hope you've enjoyed this year with me. Maybe it's been a bit of a bumpy ride this year, hasn't it? I don't know what next year's going to hold. We got no idea. But I shall be here anyway, in one form or another. And it'd be great to have you along as well. In the meantime, wishing you a very happy, safe, prosperous, kind and funky 2025. Hope you enjoy it. But for the Gaming Pantry, this is the Retro Bear. Happy New Year, everybody, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.